Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys are enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Happy Thanksgiving. Also, hope you guys are having a good holiday, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or what have you. Hopefully it's a good day. Went out to the theater today with my bro. We're going to be doing our double take as we usually do when we see films together. And this one, of course, financially is probably going to end up doing fairly well considering what is at stake. That film is Moana 2, which is the follow-up to, of course, Moana, which was back in 2016, did very well, resonated quite a bit with some audience members, and it is back now with a sequel. And in this story, we follow Moana once again, who is now journeying to look for other islands, looking for other civilizations to bridge everybody together, and amongst some strong conveniences, if you ask me, she finds information that gets her on a journey of sorts with a new team to find a island that acts as a bridge to all other sorts of civilizations to properly unite them together. So she journeys out with this new team, and along the way she finds familiar faces, one of which being Maui, of course, being voiced by Dwayne Johnson, and eventually they all come together to unite the islands, as it were, and to form a new path towards whatever it is for their civilization and sorts. So, but if it sounds like I'm kind of struggling and constructing the plot of the story, that's actually, in my opinion, the fault of the film, not necessarily my own faults in understanding it. Because one of the things that was very very noticeable about watching it is that it's very self-serving, and in that self-serving attitude, it is also fairly pointless, at least in my view of it, because it's a film that basks in the nostalgia, or at least in the loving of its title character, that is Moana, and that she is all-powerful, and that she is so great and so fabulous and so strong, and that anything surrounding her, thematically speaking, which this film's idea obviously is meant to be about teamwork, collaboration, communication, when your main character is all surfacing of all the power and all the gravitas and all the substance and all the tools, the things that are thematically being spoken of just feel like moot points and feel highly unnecessary as a result. And in that, you get something that is, again, as I've illustrated, is something that is incredibly self-serving, and in that, also very thin, because as I've illustrated, there's so much power given to such a character, it just feels as if everything else surrounding her just feels non-existent or not as purposeful in design. But on a visual front, there's merit. I mean, visually it does look nice. And remember, originally the pitch to this was meant to be a television series, and at last minute they decided to hamstrung whatever it was with the animated series and form something of a feature-length film. So that's the origins to this. It wasn't made with the intention to be a sequel. It was meant to be something else entirely. So on a visual front, it looks nice. But I think that that's all you're really going to get out of it, is that it's just something more visually interesting than narratively, because narratively speaking, there just really isn't much of anything. And in terms of a flow, in terms of just how things are paced, represented, and overall just communicated, it just feels not in void. It just feels very just thin, very lacking, and to some extent very nonsensical, because some plot lines just don't make much sense. Like, basically, as I have illustrated to my brother when we walked out, was that the whole mission, as it is within Moana 2, is basically to lift a rock up. I mean, I know it sounds a bit simple, but that's basically what it is, and the principle of what that rock represents to the story itself also feels a bit nonsensical, because of just where things end up going once we get past that point. So it just feels as there's a lot of filler time as well when it comes to just how this narrative is formed. My brother kind of illustrated, it feels as though that they just added additional elements to just pad out time to create a feature-length film, and not where things feel more strong and more in unity. It just feels like things are just there just to get to the points of what people really want, which is the duo that's there with Dwayne Johnson and this specific actress. It's just what it feels like, really, So it's bearing a huge lack in overall purpose, and by design, it's not just the fault of the construction of it. It's just really just what is there in terms of what is written, in terms of what is presented to you. It just feels really pointless, and it just feels as though that there is more fascination as time goes on with how things look than what is actually being communicated to you. So like I said, at least to me anyway, very self-serving, very full of itself, very basking in its character, just really about that character, and less to do with what it's actually telling you. Again, more to do with what it's doing literally in the visual, and not in what it is preaching in the background and what is actually written. So yeah, so I didn't really care for it too much. I'm not upset by it. I'm not like infuriated by it. I just find it to be very just very, very just purposeless in overall design and overall just layout. What is there just doesn't really do much, and really doesn't mean as much when it's all said and done. So yeah, so there's my thoughts on Moana 2. I thought it was very disposable. I think that it's a very throwaway type sequel. I don't think that there's much need to see it. It doesn't move the story forward. It doesn't really do much for the characters except empowering them and not giving them more substance, just more visual quirks, and not much in terms of overall narrative heft or overall just resonance. But those are my thoughts on Moana 2. Now I'm going to switch the camera over, and we're going to give my little brother's thoughts on Moana 2, and then we're going to bounce because we got to get some dinner. So I'm going to switch the camera over to him, and we'll see what his thoughts are right now.
I just came back from the theater to watch Moana 2, but it was kind of pointless, honestly. It was kind of pointless. I wasn't really joyful about it. I mean, the beginning was kind of cool, but the rest of it was alright, but they could have done something better, but to be honest with you, I think the first one was more better, because I think, in my opinion, the first movies are better than the sequels. Always the first movies are always better than the sequels. Why? Is because the first ones, you actually could start something original with original characters, like new characters, a new story, a new something like that. When you with a sequel, you just use characters that are already around there. And the sequels are like very bad. I don't know why. I think the sequels need to be more need more time, honestly. I feel like first ones, like I said again, always got something original. You have something completely original. Means it makes it more easier and stuff like that. But when you have a second one, it's kind of hard because you already have characters already made, and you already have stuff like that. The only thing I see sequels are made out of is for a new narrative, like a new story, like a new character has to do something, and maybe slightly new characters. That's what I see for Moana 2, is like all I saw was nothing but the same thing, but just a new story. Like, what? Like the first one, I see more potential in the first one, because first one, if I can remember, there was this lava monster. It was like something about it, and I'm not gonna say the whole story, but I'm just telling you that Moana's island was dying and stuff like that, and she was in danger. She has to stop it, right? She had to go and find Maui and save the world and stuff like that. And that was a good story. I was like, that's a pretty good story. Seems pretty simple and pretty easy. But when you go to the second one, you might think maybe it's another adventure where they have to save from not dying, right? No, it's just a rock. It's just picking up a rock, and the point of the movie, I remember the plot saying
a big rock.
Just getting people together, basically. Teamwork, I guess.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Or bring like people around. I just think, how does that make sense? How is that dangerous? Or the only thing I saw dangerous was that storm, but that storm was like nowhere even close to the islands. I felt like it was just there, just chilling there, doing nothing. But there was nothing cool about it. And one thing I love to point out is that When you watch the movie, there's these 3 characters. I don't know their name. I don't even think they have a name. They just there, like in the boat with Moana, and I just noticed that like they have not done a single thing. Nothing but just like talk and chat and sing. That's all they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, that sucks, man. That just sucks. Like, they could have done something better. Like, why not bring maybe Moana's family or something like that? They just had to bring these random people that I don't know, and they're just there because they, you know, they just so they don't make shortcuts. I don't know how that stuff works, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. Like visually, it's good. That's why I feel like a lot of people are gonna be going to see it because it's visually good, and plus it's Moana. Who doesn't want to see Moana? I guess all the kids do, and it's just like Avatar to me. It's like it'll do financially good. That's my prediction. It's gonna be just fine, and yeah, we'll see from there. But I'm not really was not really interested for that. What I'm really interested in is the live action one. The live action one is gonna be a very good one, in a bad way. That's my prediction. I just want to point out that Dwayne's bodysuit is so noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how he accidentally, I'm not sure if you guys know, but he accidentally confirmed that, yeah, it was a bodysuit, and he's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, wow, how'd you screw up so bad and stuff? But that's one super interesting. The movies that I'm mostly interested in, I will definitely review with my brother and stuff, is Sonic and Mufasa. But mostly Sonic, because Sonic is interesting to me because you got Shadow, Keanu Reeves, blah, 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 and stuff. Mufasa. It'll be interesting because also I just realized they also come out in both the same days. They both come out on December 20th. So I'm not sure if they're going to, they might be pulling a Barbie and Oppenheimer situation, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it might happen. There's predictions that said that it's going to make 55 million, like domestically, over like Mufasa. So, ooh, Sonic might do well. So, I don't know. My vote is that Sonic wins. I hope Sonic does better because I'm a huge Sonic fan over Mufasa. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Moana 2 didn't really get me that much joyfully. It's just another kids movie that hopefully kids will just watch to get their money up. So yeah, yeah, pretty cool. I'll send this back to my brother, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, peace, guys.
Alrighty, well, that's gonna be it for our review, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys let us know your thoughts on Moana 2 if you guys see it. It's probably gonna end up doing fairly well. It's, you know, people will flock to the theater for this. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts on Moana 2 if you guys saw it, your thoughts on the original if you guys have seen it. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are having an awesome Thanksgiving, an awesome holiday season. And until then, we will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Bye.